HTML, or hypertext markup language, is the backbone of any website you've ever visited. Without it, the web as we know it would simply not exist. This markup language is the invisible framework that shapes the structure of web pages, defining everything from the headers and paragraphs to images and hyperlinks. Each web page begins as a blank canvas, and it's HTML that sets the stage, creating the layout and organizing the content. It's like the architect's blueprint for a building, detailing where each element should go. HTML uses tags enclosed in angle brackets to denote different elements. These elements could be anything from a title in the head of the document to a paragraph in the body, to a list or a table. HTML is the foundation of web development, the starting point of every web project. Now let's dive into how to create an HTML project. Before you start typing code, you need an idea. What do you want your website to be about? What's its purpose? Let's explore some options. A personal website can be a fun way to share your interests or hobbies. Or how about creating a portfolio website? It's a fantastic platform to showcase your skills and experiences. A landing page can promote a product, service, or event. Great for businesses. Fancy sharing your thoughts? A blog might be your best bet. You could also set up an online store or even create a simple game using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Perhaps you'd like to challenge yourself to replicate a popular website. The possibilities are endless. Remember, your project should reflect your passion and creativity. It's not just about the code. It's about bringing your idea to life in the digital space. With an idea in mind, it's time to start creating your HTML files. Creating an HTML file is the first step towards bringing your website to life. With a good idea in place, let's roll up our sleeves and dive into the art of crafting HTML files. An HTML file is a simple text file that you can create using any text editor. Notepad, Sublime Text, or any other editor of your choice will do the trick. Now, let's have a look at a basic HTML file structure. Doc-type HTML. This might look intimidating at first, but it's simpler than it seems. At the top, you have the doc-type declaration, which tells the web browser that this is an HTML file. The HTML tags are the root of your HTML file. The head section is where you put elements like the title, which appears on the browser tab. The body is where the magic happens. This is where you put the content that people see when they visit your website. Here we have a heading and a paragraph. Don't be afraid to add more HTML elements to your page. You can add images, videos, forms, and tables to make your website more interactive and engaging. With your HTML files created, you can now view your website in a web browser. As you work on your HTML project, there are a few tips that can help you along the way. Let's delve into them. Firstly, consider using semantic HTML tags. These are tags that inherently explain the content they encompass. Not only do they make your code more readable, but they also make it more maintainable. Think of tags like header, nav, or article. Their names alone give you a good idea of the content they likely contain. Next, let's talk about style, or more specifically, cascading style sheets. CSS is your go-to for controlling the appearance of your web pages. It allows you to dictate everything from font size to background color. So make sure to use CS to give your pages that visual appeal. Thirdly, don't forget about interactivity. This is where JavaScript comes in. It's a programming language that lets you add dynamic elements to your web pages. Think animations, forms, or even games. So, if you want to bring your pages to life, JavaScript is your best friend. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, test your code thoroughly. There's no such thing as too much testing. Make sure your site works in multiple browsers and on different devices. The last thing you want is to publish a site that only works half the time. With these tips in mind, you're ready to start your journey in web development with HTML. So, you've learned the basics of HTML and how to create an HTML project. We've journeyed through the significance of HTML in web development, brainstormed project ideas, and dived into crafting HTML files. We've also explored top tips for your projects. Remember semantic HTML, CSS for style, JavaScript for interactivity, and thorough testing. With HTML in your toolkit, you're well on your way to becoming a web developer. The World Wide Web awaits your creations.